Hey again, thanks for joining me for the next installment in our teacher tools. Today we're going to talk about warming up the body for any kind of exercise routine that we're going to do, be it yoga, tai chi, whatever. We want to focus on movements of the spine in a particular order, and then we want to look at working from our largest muscle groups out to our smallest muscle groups. We always want to go in that order: large muscle groups, large muscles out to smaller muscles. So let's go ahead and talk first about the order that we want to warm up our spine, which is where we should start because, again, these are our largest muscles. So to warm up the spine, the most proper and safest way, for everyone's body is to start with what's called forward flexion and back extension. So any kind of moves that bring us forward and back, moving our spine in this way. So it could be pelvic tilts, which only gets a little bit of the spine. One of my favorites is cat and cow, because that gets the whole spine. And of course we can do this standing. If we're doing a seated workout, we can do this on our hands and knees or even sitting on our bottoms. I do it that way in yoga a lot of the time. But we want to make sure that we include as much of the spine moving forward as possible. We can even isolate the neck on its own because it's got its own mobility here. But again, if we're doing something that's getting the whole spine, it will include the head as well. So we start with forward flexion, back extension. Then we want to move to lateral flexion, or side to side movement of the spine, which could be as simple as just bobbing side to side. Again, we can isolate the neck on its own for these exercises. And since we are turning our head a lot and doing all kinds of things in our exercises, especially yoga, it is good to warm up our neck separately sometimes. And we can add extension to this. Of course, we could be doing this sitting in a chair or on the floor. It would look exactly the same. But we want to move second to our side to side lateral movement. Side to side movement of the spine. And then we will finish up with twisting, rotational movement of our spine. So we want to keep our hips still and take our movement side to side. We can keep it smaller to start with, making it more resistant as we move further out. We can do different little tricks to move our spine in that fashion. We can also combine this with other movements, as I'll show you in a moment. So starting with our core, which is everything from our hips to our shoulders, we want to move our spine forward and back first, side to side second, twisting last. And we want to give ourselves enough time for our body to warm up in each of those ways. So since these are some large muscle groups, we've already kind of gotten a go on all these, we can take it to the large muscles of our thighs and buttocks. So squats, they're a nice, easy, all-around way to warm up. We can add things to them like jumps and stuff like that to get cardio up if it's a cardio class. We can take it to lunges, which again are working these large muscle groups. If we're doing walking lunges, it's going to add more cardio. You see I'm already starting to breathe a little heavier. So start with those large muscle groups there. And then we want to move to large muscles of our chest and upper back. And a quick, easy one for that is just swinging our arms forward and back. So we start with our legs, thighs are our biggest muscles, then we move to the chest and upper back. Then we can look at warming up our calves, which are just a little smaller than our thighs. Do a little Tai Chi warm up here. So some different mobility around the ankles and calves. And then we're going to start to move out to the arms, which if we're doing push-ups for our warm up for our chest, we're actually going to get the arms, shoulders warmed up in that as well. So squats are great to start with. Push-ups, easy push-ups. If we're doing it on the floor, do it on the knees. We can do it at the wall, or on a bench. Something easy and light, or even just going through this push-up in the air gets the arms, shoulders, and everything warmed up as well. So remember, we start with the large muscles of our core, bending our spine forward and back first, side to side second, twisting third. And then we move to the large muscles of our thighs, upper back and chest. Then we move down to the calves and work our way out our arms and shoulders, all right? So keep those keys in mind when you're planning a warm-up for any kind of exercise class, all right? Hope this helps. Catch you in the next installment.